All right, like I said, I will Wrestlemania night 2. So by the time you watch the video, you probably already watched the upload of Wrestlemania night 1. So yeah, Wrestlemania night 2. Like I said, and I'm gonna say now, like was not nearly as good as night one. Like night one delivered. Like night one had just had like a flow to it, and there were so many huge moments on that night one that I don't know if the night two could have really captured it. But in mind, I still thought night two was a mostly a decent show for me. Like I pretty much, and like I said in the night one, to describe this show, the whole weekend of Mania was freaking fun as they deliver on the entertaining aspect. And since they're an entertainment company, they aren't supposed to be a wrestling company, which we all know is BS. But if it isn't a wrestling company, they're if an entertainment company. I will say that in night to the day they deliver on the entertainment part, and you will get to some of the matches which kind of referring to. So yeah, so it started off with a Triple H segment, and this is another thing I didn't really expect it to. So he came out. Um, so he came out. He said he only wanted to say thank you. Said welcome to WrestleMania to the pilot that wasn't sure the opener, like opener. So he left hang his boots. And you know, it was nice to see him kind of have some little closure on his in-ring career. Like, this might be one of the last times you ever see him in an entrance like that since he's no longer a wrestler anymore. So, yeah, it was nice to see him at least one, maybe for one last time in a WrestleMania, nonetheless. So the opener match was the Triple Threat Raw Tag Team Championship. The champions RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. Really fun match, really good match. I gotta say, RK Bro, like I feel like it's been both beneficial to both Widow and Randy Orton. Like with Randy, I feel like it revived his career. After that crappy, saw kind of crappy feud with the Face, kind of need advancement, and thankfully this whole theme was great. Has been great, and for Widow, like I don't know what Riddle's ceiling is exactly, but like he was with this comic relief thing, he was always gonna be at a certain level, I think. And I think this pairing with him and Orton has been really held up both of them. And in a sense, it has elevated Riddles since he's now working with a guy like Orton who has been a multiple time world champion. It has been great. And Alpha Academy, you kind of say the same things for both of them. Since, you know, the Shirley G crap which I gave, we needed to get away with it. And all of it kind of struggling in his singles one with Al, Heavy Machinery, and even Mandy Rose by her side. He was kind of struggling there. So both them as a team has helped both of them tremendously, and They have been doing some great work as well, which I give it the cheese. And it seems to get really over the wide way with the crowd, which is nice to see. And the Street Profits, they just say they are the Street Profits. There's nothing, they are really good thing. And this was a really good match with it was really fast paced all around, and the finish which I really like with Riddle hit it like an RKO from the middle, what was insane, and then Orton catch it. I think one of the Street Profit, I think it was like man, I think it was Angel Dawkins, I think, hit him with the RKO for that kid from the tower when Angel tried to hit him move for the tower, and Orton catch him with the RKO, and RKO retain the World Tag Team titles. After that match, Gable Stevenson came out after Shaq gave a call promo, and then Gable Stevenson, who we kind of saw at night one the previous night, now comes out here and getting the offense of Shaggy, which is like, okay, I guess. I do hope he found some success and he's really good in the ring, being an Olympic gold medalist. I really hope he finds some success on the Monday Night Raw brand. So yeah, but a really good tag team match, tag team title match. Like I said, it wasn't like the on some Raw episode when RK Bro regained the title where he had Alpha Kennedy. I think it was when RK Bro. Alpha Kevin. Oh, I think it was Alpha Kevin. So, yeah, they have one. Also, Rollins said all this. It wasn't good as that. That was a great match, but it was still really, really good. Can't think I say that about it. Unfortunately, I don't have nice things to say about this almost Bobby Lashley match. Yeah, even like watching it when I saw him, it was pretty brutal, to say the least. Pretty brutal to say to as it was boring. Like the only like impressive part was like the finish where they actually did the suplex on the game, the ring, which was kind of what we kind of knew what was going to happen, but like. Yeah, it was hard to sit through watching that match. Like Owens, like you can clearly see he's not quite ready yet in having a hanging there in a big time match with a opponent like that. Bobby actually tried, but like I didn't have any expectation for it anyway, like high one. So wasn't expected that much, but yeah, the match kinda suck. So yeah, so Lashley wins. And we almost like I said, it's not, and we all know almost doesn't have like can't talk for anything. So when they did the angle on Wall with him, the Lashley MVP split, like him aligning with MVP may actually help almost a bit. The Lashley, as Lashley, I don't think quite need. He's at a level now where Bobby Lashley is just on a elite level at this point that I don't think he quite needs MVP anymore. But I think always could use some that thing because we all know he can cut a promo to save his life. So yeah, but the match itself at Wrestlemania Sunday wasn't good. Fatal four way for the women's tag team titles. Carmella and Queen Selena defending against Natalya, Shayna Baszler, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Naomi and Sasha Banks. So the match itself was decent, I guess. It's really hard to kill when the company doesn't even care about its women tag team titles. Like, if you see the booking, they don't really kind of care of much of it. So yeah. So it has some nice spots with they had a stereo tower. I don't know what it was like. I think everyone hit a suplex on the ring. I think it was the Tower of Doom spot. That's what kind of everybody doing it. It was a cool ass spot, and the finisher Naomi Sasha had looked really cool in my opinion, and that actually helped to win the match. So Sasha Banks finally won Wrestlemania, yay! And like after 6 years, he finally wins on WrestleMania, man, and it probably is her least important. Well, I don't know if it was the least, but one of her least rated matches ever, with her and Naomi winning the title, which is like, it's nice, I guess. Hopefully they do well as champion, because there have been a lot of other women tag champions that have been done great. So yeah, so they won Sasha and Naomi the women's tag team titles. Next match, I forgot one, was Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn in a takeout match. Oh boy, like, this was like nuts. Like, the best way to describe was like nuts. Like, when I say about the entertainment part, they fucking nailed the entertainment aspect of that match, because I'll be damn if it wasn't entertaining for what it was, for like 14, 15 minutes match was. Boy, was that a lot of fun. And you gotta give a credit to Sami Zayn, like, he really made the best. He really did made the best out of the situation he was in. He took it like a champ. Like, wee man, him, the major wee man, power slamming. Sami Zayn got a big reaction, like, F Hulk Hogan slam me, Andre. This is gonna be a replay version for the next 15 years to come. Like, I still cannot get over how he we meant power slam Sami Zayn. Like, I was still not gonna. I'm kind of joking about that would be replay, but he probably should, because that was fucking entertaining as hell. Watching that crowd, it went bananas for them. And yeah, like Sami Zayn, like, you gotta give it credit, like, he took as much punishment as he did to really compromise Johnny Knoxville in the ring. Because Knoxville didn't really do much for most parts of the match. It was like all Sami Zayn thinking about it. You gotta feel like, give credit, he did make the best. He did make out himself to look at the best idiot on earth. Like, make it look at the most foolish, no. Like, he took every punishment on that man, and he took it like a champ. I will say, like, you gotta get him some pros like 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 I can't have enough things to say and the big finish with him. Well, it didn't seem quite believable that Nosbury would be sitting in like a giant mousetrap. And I still can't believe Sammy took that mousetrap to that table. I couldn't believe. But he did the best out of the situation he could to compromise Johnny Knoxville in the ring. I don't know if he really could have done much, but all the vomit, all the jackass from the movie, it was freaking entertaining, and yeah, Sami Zayn really handled himself well in that match. He did have made himself to look like the best idiot as you can possibly see him. Made him look like a total fool and with pride. Like he took pride into making himself look like a, a fool throughout that match. And he took it well, and Johnny Knoxville won the match, and it was entertaining. Might be match of the night. For what it's worth, on that night too. It was match of the night. This is crazy to say. So yeah, now we get to Edge versus AJ Styles, which was the match that I was looking forward to the most. Edge's new heel character has been great. The music has been awesome. We call The Other Side by Alter Bridge. That's a great fucking song. And the entrance as well was great. Paying homage sort of the brew. The match itself, it was really good. I kind of expected more out of it. Which, if you can say it, you call it a middle disappointment. But I would be a twat if I didn't say if the match was good, because it was really good, because they tried to pull out all the stops. Also I couldn't really believe how Edge took the apron bump from the top rope through the apron and down the floor. I couldn't believe it, but Edge and they were really trying to pull out all the stuff, but I kind of expected a little bit more. I don't know. I expected to see something happen. Didn't quite get it there as yet. Also, AJ Styles. And I saw this on the live cam after the show that AJ hit the stage and caught him on this side of his face. That was hysterical. But I see, it was a really good match, but I expected a little more. I think once this feud continues, I still think we will see much better matches. But still, this was a really good match, and the finish you saw AJ going for the phenomenal forearm. But then Damian Priest from ringside came out. AJ looked at him, but he was still focused. But then Edge cashed him with a spear, 1, 2, 3, Edge for the win. And after the match, looks like we have an alliance source of Edge and Damian Priest, which I think something that Damian Priest needed, since his character in his final months being Euro champion didn't really set the world on fire, as I think the crowd reactions they were starting to get cold, and as a result his character kind of started becoming cool. So hopefully this new alliance with Edge will do mean something for him. This new alliance between Edge and Priest. So HBA and Wrestlemania. So next we got Sheamus and Regis Hart with the former Pete Dunne, now called Butch. Yeah, fucking Bush. Against the New Day, Kofi and Xavier. Kofi against Xavier Rules. Like, so this match was supposed to happen on night one, but other matches on night one got more time, so it resulted this match ended up being cut. But it's like, I don't know why they didn't even put this on the pre-show. Like, you could have put it on the pre-show night too, and at least it would have gotten time. This here, it only went for like a minute. These guys did a thing, and that was it. Sheamus and Regis Hart won. Like, what was the point of even putting on the main card? It was such a fucking waste of time putting that on the main card. At least if you were putting a kick on, it would have gotten more time to produce something good. But here, they didn't even get a chance. So this was fucking a pointless match. Fucking pointless. So something I did get to talk about on the night one was the Hall of Fame. They showed all the aunties, and they had the Undertaker. Undertaker appeared twice, and I will say that, going off topic, but Taker in the Hall of Fame was wow. That reaction when he stepped through the ring and just stood there while the crowd was just giving non-stop standing ovation, and him not even, the fans won't even let him speak, to the point I was like, even watching the speech, I was like, please let Taker speak, but they were not having it. This was like Hulk Hogan at the Wrestlemania, on the Raw after Mania 18, where Hogan was about to say something, but the crowd for like 45 minutes wouldn't let him speak or something. But and this, it was turned up to a 10. Like, I'd never seen something for the Hall of Fame speech. And that whole speech that they gave, it might be my favorite Hall of Fame speech ever. So yeah, that was really riveting stuff. I highly recommend to watch and go back watch that speech and that whole first part of it where the crowd giving him a standing ovation. That was tremendous, tremendous stuff. So we had Pat McAfee wrestling his first main WrestleMania match against Austin Theory with Vince McMahon side. Oh boy, McAfee was so goddamn over. Like, you couldn't shut up that crowd with the that crowd saying. It was great. He had tremendous energy, and I think for me this might be my personal favorite match of that night too. Pat McAfee, Austin Theory. That was really great. Like, McAfee looked like a star out there. Like, everything he did, the crowd was eating him up. Like, when he first wrestled, like, I was so amazed when he flipped from the top turnbuckle, flipped and landed on his feet, and then jumped the top rope to do the suplex. I was just amazed at him doing it to Austin Theory as it was in his first match with Adam Cole. That was crazy. Yeah, and this is what he was. They delay on the entertainment part, like Austin Theory did his part as well. I also think he did great. So the finish, Austin Theory going for his finisher, and Pat McAfee surprised him with a roll-up with McAfee getting the ring. I did not expect him to him getting the ring, but after that performance, he kind of deserving, in my opinion. Although Austin Theory kind of need a little bit more, considering what happens after what comes out after that one. Yeah, but McAfee did it after that performance. It was nice to see him have a win at Mania. So then afterwards, oh boy. So Vince, who was sitting throughout that whole match, was just standing there and goes over to Theory, and then McAfee says, "Come on, Vince." And Vince just rips off his jacket, rips off his suit, his tie, and underneath he had a tank top. Looking pretty much Jackbug, clearly not as physically as big as he's used to be. I mean, the man is 70, is mid-70, in his mid-70s. He's 70 plus. So I don't think he wasn't going to be in that kind of shape he's used to, but he looked slightly good. And then the rest comes over and we had a Vince McMahon match at WrestleMania. It's kind of like, what was kind of really the point of it? At least they kept it short, because if that went long, this would have been the absolute disrespect, because Vince can't do anything. And you can clearly saw in the match. At least they was sort of, for the entertainment aspect, seeing like, oh my god, what Vince is going to do, because Vince as a performer was never like, he's a good worker, like a good storyteller in the ring. He's good at that, but as a wrestler, he's never the most smoothest. And this match kind of clear showing, as he really good do, as he only did a punted to McAfee with the football that McAfee was having, and throw it to the fence. So yeah, and Vince McMahon won a match. Austin Theory couldn't beat him, but of course fucking 76-year-old Vince could. Jesus Christ. I was just sitting there watching that and thinking like, we gotta have Stone Cold White. Like, I was just thinking like, somebody's gotta help McAfee. And if I had to be anyone, it had to be Stone Cold. And good Lord, I was right on the money, and out comes Stone Cold Steve Austin again. After wrestling his first match in 19 years, comes out back here, and what a stunness he gave. He gave Austin Theory one of the best looking stunners of all time. And then he went to Vince and oh boy. So he tried to keep Vince. Vince falls, walks like backwards. Austin hits the stunner, but Vince landed on his knees so awkwardly that made it look he didn't really got really hit by it. Like, Austin hit, and props to Austin. Like, you can see he was trying to laugh at it. Like he was having this huge laugh on it. Like, like he knows how fucked up it is, and it pretty much is the probably the worst stunner of all time. Like Vince, you can clearly see couldn't take also he landed on his knees so awkwardly. Which is like, I mean, Vince always never takes, like, he takes, like, Vince is weird. Like, he takes decent stunning, and then sometimes he takes some awful looking stuff. This was fucking one of them. At least Austin kind of redeemed it by Stomp McAfee, which was good, and McAfee drinking beer while laying on the floor was hilarious. At least that this whole segment thing was at least fun. It was entertaining. At least for that. So yeah. So main event time. The biggest Wrestlemania match of all time. It's ready to take off for the WWE and Universal titles. It's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I brought him and introduced him to the match, and so this was like 7 months in the making since SummerSlam. They did a match. Crown Jewel. Lesnar got screwed. Basically, kind of got basically screwed. They almost did a match on day one, but then didn't. And Lesnar won the title, then lost it at the Rumble, then won the Rumble, then regained the title back at the Elimination Chamber February, and now we get to this match, Winner Take All. And for the amount of time they have built this up, and for the amount of time that they have done this, the amount of times, this is like the third straight main event that these two guys had. Like, the match, which is average at best, like it wasn't on the level on the 34 match where it would just finish where just that watching that match on 34 was pretty boring, and the crowd didn't care. At least the crowd did sort of care for this one. They were kind of into it, but the match itself, it was just wasn't really. It just wasn't that good. Like, it as a match, it was a disappointment for the amount of build this had, and it was pretty much the same match that these two guys kinda of the every match that these two guys have. It was just finisher, a spear, a barricade spot, I think, and then fight, and then just counting finishes until one last finisher hits. It was pretty much the same match that these two guys had. It's like, for him being very big, for him to be the biggest Mania match of all time, this was pretty much, and we all knew this wasn't the biggest Mania match of all time. Like, they just do it just to make things a big deal. And they tried to make it for like a big deal for the match between Brothers and Roman Reigns, but yeah, it just wasn't good. Like, it was, like I said, it was a disappointment. Like, Roman Reigns hit the spear, and it's like, this definitely felt it needed more minutes to really had, and I feel like they had the time tell to tell a story the proper way. I think it would have been good, but it was just average. It was borderline good, but it was certainly wasn't great. It was just there, and so like the finish where Roman Reigns hit the spear it didn't feel like the proper way to finish that match at that point. It just need a few extra minutes. So yeah, so Roman Reigns just won. He's the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. We see what happens with him going forward, but like, yeah, the match was pretty kind of bad, man. It really ended things kind of sour note to what pretty much was one of the better WrestleManias in years. Like that whole weekend was just fun as stuff, and they needed to deliver on, like they needed to deliver when they needed on the most, and for the most part they did deliver on WrestleMania this year, and I enjoyed myself for the 2 night experience thing. Um, so it will go back to 2 nights again. So I guess you can say it's permanent now. So for as a whole, I did personally have more fun watching 2 Manias than probably would have been 1 night, because I think it would have been even worse if it was like too much overcrowd. But like night one was a really good show, really to even kind of great. But and this was decent to decent to good show. Like I said, it was a really fun WrestleMania, one of the better ones in years. You will see my rating for the night. It wasn't as good as night one, but it was still decent, like I said. So yeah, that's it for the whole weekend of WrestleMania. Like, subscribe. Tell me what you think about WrestleMania as a whole the weekend in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Martinez, and I approve this message.